Hello, welcome back to another series of our entrepreneurial training section. My name is Prince Yemi Kesali, and today we shall be talking about how to prepare starch spray. Before we talk about this, please, if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do. And also, if you're yet to follow us on Facebook, please do. My name is Prince Yemi Kasali. This edition we shall be talking about how to prepare our starch spray. Preparing a starch spray is not quite different from preparing the normal cold water starch. You can prepare our cold water starch in two forms, by using antisol or by using cassava. So you can use any of it, prepare your normal cold water starch, then add more water to it as your cold starch spray. So what you just need to do is to add more water to your cold water starch, then you will have our starch spray, because our starch spray is applied directly on our fabrics while ironing, so we don't need much thickness on it. We want it to just go light on the cloth while ironing. Then we will be talking about how to prepare a cold water starch without using cassava. We'll be making use of just 5 things. We need antisol. Antisol is our major ingredient in this. It's our starch. It's the replacement for cassava extract. Then we'll be having our whitener, which is PVA, will serve as our whitener in this production. Then we'll be having formalin. Formalin is going to be our preservative, so this would preserve our production for a long period. Then we have perfume. This is of choice. You can decide to add it, and you might decide not to add it, or you might decide, if you're selling, you might decide to have the one with perf and the one without perf. The reason is this: some people might not like your perf. Elsewise, some people are asthmatic, they don't love being around with all those skunk perf, while some choose the kind of perf they want. They want to use designer perf, so they want you to just give them any kind of perfume. But while some would always buy your starch, because when using starch you would have finished washing, we always use our starch in rinsing, so which means the perf will be on the fabrics. So some will love it for the perf because they felt like they don't need to buy perf again after rinsing with your starch. So that is why you need a good combination of perf, something of good quality and good scent. Then we need water. So those are all we need for our starch. So here, for 2 liters of a cold water starch, we'll need antisol of 35 grams. We need PVA, that is our whitener, of about half a liter. We need formalin of 10 milliliters, fragrance of 10 milliliters, but this might be more, might be less, depending on what you want and what you think your customers want. Then we have our 2 liters of water. So before we go further, we need to talk about precautions. Please do not make your preparation close to naked fire or flame, and avoid direct contact with the chemicals. Keep chemicals out of the reach of children. Keep chemicals away from fire or naked flame, and do not taste chemicals. Especially, we'll be using formalin in this production, so please be very, very careful. Formalin is not good for health. Let's move into the preparation proper. But like I said before, if you're yet to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, please do. And if you're yet to follow us on Facebook, please do. Now let's move into the preparation proper. To prepare cold water starch, we need CMC, also known as antisol. We will be making use of PVA, also known as whitener, then our perfume. Then we have formalin. Formalin serves as our preservative. So these are the basic things we need for preparing cold water starch. We have to pour our water into our container. You might pour some of the water, that means the required number of water, and later use the remaining to mix. But I am pouring 2 liters, which I need right away. I have poured a liter, and this is the second liter. After pouring it in, we will be adding our CMC, which is known as antisol. Then the real job starts. The real job is to make sure that our antisol is well mixed with the water, immediately we start mixing it, it starts becoming thick. It becomes thicker and thicker as we mix it properly. Then the more time it's spent settling, the more thicker it becomes. So we'll be leaving this for 24 hours after mixing. So I'm mixing, the light is off right now. I should be taking this out so that you can see it properly. So this is my back door. I'm still mixing. I want it to be well mixed, so I keep mixing to try and dissolve the ones that formed together. So I want to make sure I mix it properly, but the way I'm seeing it, this thing is not going to get well mixed until I leave it for the required number of time. So I'm taking it to a more comfortable place. This is my cage, so it's on my cage right now. So I left it, and after 6 hours it's getting better. So I'm mixing again. I'm trying to stir again. I'm trying to stir it again so that it gets better. So every 6 hours I keep checking to stir so that we can have a good result. So I'm still stirring. Sorry, I'm not having good light here, but the basic thing is just for us to stir every 6 hours. So I have to keep it for another 6 hours. Then I come back again to come and stir. This is another 6 hours. So coming back again to come and stir. So it's better now. The powders that are not well dissolved are gone. So I think with time all those things will get soaked into the solution and it dissolves. So this is another 6 hours. I'm coming back to come and stir, and this time around I'm coming back to come and finish the whole preparation. So I'm stirring again. So after stirring, I would have to start adding the remaining ingredients. So this is my PVA, that is my whitener. So I have to add my whitener. Then after doing that, I stir. So I'm stirring it. So I keep stirring till I have it well mixed. So I keep adding my whitener till I have good results. Instead of doing this, you should measure your whitener. Make sure you have an accurate preparation. And measurement is not really for a one-time production. It's for you to have a consecutive same production. So that when you produce today, what you produce today will be same as what you'll be producing tomorrow and what you'll be producing next. So I'm adding more water because my starch is too thick unless I want to prepare a bond. You know, that one is very thick. So most of the starch we buy outside is not as thick as this. So you can add more water in order to have your own taste of starch. That means what you want to sell, what you feel is good for you to sell. The more thick it becomes, the more expensive it will become. So it now depends on you. Are you selling quality things or are you selling quantity things? Our market differs, so you can add more water if you want. So I'll start adding other ingredients, and we have formalin. Formalin is what we'll be adding now. We are adding little formalin. Formalin is just to preserve the production so that it doesn't get contaminated. Then this is our perfume. We need perfume at least small in order to kill the scent of the formalin. Formalin is a little bit offensive, so we need perf to kill it. But it depends on your customers. You can add more perf, and you know, the more perf you add, the more the fabrics hold the perf, because most of the time you would have washed your clothes before rinsing it with starch. So that means the perf will stay long on the fabric, so you're not going to wash the perf away. So if your customers are those ones who loves perf, who does not mind the kind of perf you're using, or if you can get the actual perf that would attract your customers, I think you should put more perf. But otherwise, just add small in order to kill the odor of the formalin. So this is our starch, and that is all we have on starch. So all you just need to do is to close this again and keep for another 24 hours, stir and pack for usage. So we are back, and this is our starch. As you can see, it's still very thick. It's still more like a bond. If you love it this way, it's cool. And if you want to put more water, it depends on you. But this is our starch. Thank you very much. If you're yet to subscribe to our channel, please kindly do. And if you're yet to follow us on Facebook, kindly. To have our spray starch, all we need to do is just to dilute our preparation. The more water we add to our starch after making our starch, starch, the more water we add to it, the more easier it is to spray on our clothes while ironing. So in our own preparation, we'll just be adding enough water into what we have. So I'm going to take some of it into another container so that you can see what I'm saying. So I'm going to take small of it. You can see I only took small, just about 3 spoons. That's okay. So let me take that aside. I'm going to close this, then put water into this. You see how much water we are adding into this before I can have a sprayable starch. So that's 1 liter. You know the cup is 1 liter. So I'm adding half of it already. So I have to, the real work is just to mix it because it's very thick. So we need to really work on it. So I'm making use of spoon. It seems as if the stick cannot turn this. So let me make use of spoon this time around to have this done. Okay. I'm putting in more starch just to make it go fast. It seems as if the other one is just dancing inside the water. So that is why I'm putting in more starch. It's not as if the water too much. You can see I'm still adding more water, and I'm still going to add more water into this. So I think it's time to add the remaining water into it. So I keep adding water, keep stirring, keep adding water. This is still too thick to be a spray. Some of the starch we sell outside is just as this thick. So that is why I'm saying that the preparation we did is very thick. So it now depends on you. You can decide to leave it like that or add more water. So it is still very thick. So I'm adding more water. So almost 1.5 liters now. So this is a spray starch. So we only need to add this into our spray container. Thank you very much. My name remains Prince Yemi Kasali.